When they calm us, we ask ourselves when can we find light in this never-ending shade. The last we carry a sea, we much weight, we breathe. The belly doth the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace, and the norm and notion of what just is isn't always just is. And yet, the doubt is all before we know it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we weather and witness a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successor of a country and a time, where a skinny black girl descended from slave and raised by single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean that we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose with country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we live or gaze not what stands between us, but that stand before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first. We must first put our difference aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true, that even as we grieve, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hope, that even as we tied, that we'll forever be tied together victorious, not because we will never again know the pit, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own wine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, when victory won't lie in the blade but in all bridges we've made, that is the promise to glad. The hill we climb, if only we dare it, because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a fort that would shatter our nation rather than share it.
Wrote destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy, and these efforts were nearly decisive. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this part, we trust, for why we have our eyes on the future. History has its eyes on us. This is the area of just redemption. We first at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the hero of such a variant hour. But within It we power to order a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So why we ask, how could we possibly possibly prevent our catastrophe? Now we ask it. How could catastrophe possibly peer over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be. A country that is bruised but bold, benevolent but bold, fresh and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation because we know our inaction and inertia will be the will, will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain, if we mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us, so let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left with. Every beard from my brows proud chest. We will write these words. We will write these broadened words into a we will rise from the gold limbed hills of the west. Will we will rise from the windswept northeast, were ours forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed city of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover, and every now look of our nation and every corner, college, our country, our people diverse and beautiful will emerge better and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade of flame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we breathe, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough.